Trojan family, what's going on? Welcome to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. I'm Ryan Dyrud. Show is always brought to you by our friends over at Sleeper. Make sure to download the Sleeper app. Use our promo code USCLAFB. Second commitment for USC. We kind of expected this one. Not a huge surprise, but now officially he announced himself at Chaparral High School out in Temecula at 3 p.m. on CBS Sports YouTube channel. Eli Woodard announces that he will be committing to the University of Southern California. He chose USC over Oregon, Michigan, and Missouri. Again, wide receiver, really talented kid. Talked about him quite a bit, but we'll just do a quick wrap on that and then kind of what this means for the wide receiver position moving forward for USC in this 2027 class. So Rivals has Woodard ranked as the 72nd wide receiver in the class. He's a 3-star, the 50th ranked player in the state of California. That's, again, Rivals industry ranking. Based on stuff I've seen, in terms of tape, based on people I've talked to, I think he is highly underrated. 5'11", 180, can play inside or out. I think primarily recruited by Chad Savage, so USC probably views him more as an inside guy. But he is a super talented kid. One of these receivers, similar to like a Trent Mosley in a way, not saying their game is exactly the same, but I think Trent Mosley was one of the most underrated receivers in the 2026 class. I think he rose in the rankings at the very end, but back when at this time last year, he was probably in this same range, maybe a little higher. At one point, I think he was like 46th ranked receiver, and then he jumped in the final rankings, but still outside the top 300 players for Rivals, which I just think is egregious. I mean, watch that kid play. He is unbelievable. He was the player of the year for the state of California. Eli Woodard, I think, has a little bit of that ability. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people his final season. He's a really talented route runner, tactician. He's got great hands and is great in space. So I think this is a really good pickup. And you know me, I'm always positive, not going to be negative on things, but I do genuinely believe this is a really good commitment and receiver for USC. So I don't think USC fans should for any reason get down being like, oh, you know, we're going to have a smaller class and we're still getting 3-star kids. Like, I think he'll be bumped to a 4-star by the time this thing is done. If not, it doesn't matter. USC obviously did their own evaluations of this kid, and I think he could be really, really special and be a really nice bright spot for this receiving room moving forward. Obviously, if his commitment stays true to the end, which I believe it will, local kid. You can just tell after his visits to USC, after junior day, that, you know, all the crystal balls pointed to him committing to USC, but even just the way he spoke, you could tell he was going to be a USC Trojan. Like, he was fired up to stay home, to represent the Cardinal and Gold, and to join this program that Lincoln Riley's building and join this receiving room that is going to be one of the best in the country as these guys continue to develop and get better and better. When you look at from Tanuk Hines now down to this 26 class and now getting the first 27 receiver in Eli Woodard. So what does this mean for the receiving class going forward? I kind of teased last night. I'm going to do this. Maybe, I don't know if I'll do it today or tomorrow, but I want to build kind of how I see the construction of the class going in terms of number of positions taken. So I believe receiver will be 2 to 4 max. I see 3 as the max personally. They could take 4, but I see 3 being like the hard max from my perspective. So now with Woodard, you got 2 spots. I think their top 2 targets are Quentin Hale from Corona Centennial here in Los Angeles and Eric McFarland out at IMG Academy. To me, those are the 2 top-tier targets for USC receiving-wise in the class. There's many other there's pursuing. Osani Gale is one of those who's also at IMG, originally from SoCal. He's a really talented kid. You know, I could make a list maybe of just like probably 10 receivers that they're all going after. But to me, if they can close somehow both Hale and McFarland with Woodard, that's an elite 3-person receiver class for 27. You don't need any more. Stamp it, book it, end it. You're good to go for the receiving room moving forward. So as said before, I love McFarland's speed. I know some people see his size and his height and might get a little turned off. He's the 4th ranked receiver in the class. Dude has elite speed, could be absolutely a weapon in the slot. and utilized great in this Lincoln Riley offense. And Quentin Hale is kind of a do-it-all receiver. Can play outside, inside, but certainly has the size at 6'3" to really line up as that true X wide receiver 1 in this system. And like I said, Eli Woodard, I think, can play all over also, but I see him more kind of as a slot guy. So that's how I view the receiving commitment or receiving recruitment to kind of finish through the rest of this offseason. Obviously, if they are unable to land either both McFarland or Harrell or neither, there will be plenty of other top prospects they'll go after. As I said, Asani Gale is one of those that they're really high on, among others. So that's how I see it. But for now, Eli Woodard, big commitment for USC. I think this is a great one. Keep this kid home. And again, don't let the 3 stars fool you. Watch this kid's tape, watch his senior season now this year, and I think a lot of you will be like, okay, yeah, that's a solid receiver that obviously USC valued more than some of these recruiting services. And you look at his final list, right? I said this about the offensive lineman yesterday, the 3-star kid from Valor Christian. I said, look at who's offering him. Like, that tells you a lot more than what his star ranking is. When you look at Woodard's final, he had a ton of offers, but you look at his final list, USC, Oregon, Michigan, Missouri. It wasn't like USC with Colorado, San Diego State. Like, no disrespect to those, but it wasn't like USC was way above the fold of these other programs. Like, it was all top tier Power 4 programs. That tells you more than what the star ranking, in my opinion. So, great commitment for USC. Eli Woodard going to be a USC Trojan. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. USC's class now to 2 players. Cornerback Aaron Washington, 4-star, one of the top cornerbacks in the entire 2027 class, recently transferred from Mater Dei to IMG, and then now Eli Woodard, 3-star wide receiver. Let me know what you guys think. We got plenty more news coming at you and analysis, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button here at the USC LAFB YouTube channel. Check out our message board over on LAFBnetwork.com for all of the USC intel and hopefully conversation. We need to build that up and continue our conversation and plenty more. I'm going to start doing a viewer comment episode. I know my good buddy Gabe over at Trojan Blade does that. A lot of other people do it. And I think it would be a great opportunity for me to answer more questions that I can't always get to in the comments, but I can do a show on it. So we'll start doing that here very soon. And we're going to get back to our, at minimum, live show on Wednesdays, our live call-in show. And we'll see if we add some more live shows throughout the offseason. So kind of, it's the offseason right now. It's kind of crazy, but we're building our content schedule back to be a little bit more consistent for you guys. So I appreciate you so much for always tuning in and making this a part of your day. So again, hit that subscribe, become a member of the channel. If you want to help out even more, that'd be amazing. Get some merch discounts on all of our great USC swag. And I'll be back with plenty more. As always, family, fight on. Hey, Trojan family, Ryan Dyrud here from the USC LAFB show. And I've got to tell you about a brand new feature by our friends at Sleeper. Hopefully you've been using Sleeper all this time, but if not, you've got to go download the Sleeper app. It's the #1 sports app, and they've just added a brand new feature, which is so much fun. So on top of the great DFS feature, which if you don't know, pick any player across any sport. You choose 2 to 8. Just choose more or less. You can stack, like I said, 2 to 8 players and win some real money potentially. So, you pick more or less yards, more or less touchdowns, more or less points, whatever it might be, whatever sport vertical you use. That's the DFS feature. But now they just launched the team pick feature. So now it's as simple as picking which team you think will win each game. So football season now over, obviously. Unfortunately, we got a long wait ahead of us. Don't worry, we got you covered here at USC LAFB for all your USC needs. But you can still go and choose the Lakers whenever game they're playing. You can choose the LA Kings. Any sport vertical still playing. Baseball, just around the corner. Dodgers, World Series champions, going for the three-peat. Yeah, once that season kicks off, or I guess that's the wrong word to use, but once that season gets going, you can now choose the Dodgers in their game, whichever team you think will win. So go to the Sleeper app. Download it today. In the tabs, you can toggle between players or teams when you're on the picks tab. It's that easy to find. And today, if you're a first-time user, so if you haven't downloaded it yet, I don't know what you're doing if you watch this show, but go download the Sleeper app today and you get a free $20 entry for picks, whether that's team picks or player picks. Make sure to use our promo code USCLAFB. So no deposit required to get this free $20 entry. But when you use that promo code USC LAFB, you're going to get a free match bonus up to $100. So you put in $100 in your deposit, they're going to give you a free $100. You put in 20, they'll give you 20 free to play with. So you're doubling your deposit right off the bat plus the free 20. What more could you ask for? Sleeper app today. Use the promo code USC LAFB and tell them Ryan over at the USC LAFB sent you.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.